Number 10. A city that came back from the dead. In 1991, Medellín was considered a city with virtually no hope left. With about 395 homicides per 100,000 people, it recorded the highest murder rate in the world at the time. The city was closely associated with Pablo Escobar, drug cartels, shootouts, and the constant fear of daily life. Many hillside neighborhoods were controlled by armed groups, while poor residents were nearly cut off from the economic center and public services. At the time, Medellín was not only dangerous in the eyes of foreigners, but had also become a symbol of a Colombia engulfed in violence. Don't leave before subscribing to the channel, because the next journey could be even more surprising. Yet more than 3 decades later, Medellín has undergone one of the world's most remarkable urban transformations. By 2024, the city's homicide rate had fallen to about 11 per 100,000 people, the lowest level in more than 8 decades. Compared with 1,991, this figure had decreased by more than 97%. Areas that once served as hideouts for gunmen are now filled with murals, music, cafes, and streams of tourists. As the sun sets, buildings stretching across the green mountainsides make Medellín appear like a modern city arranged in layers throughout the valley. This revival did not come solely from increasing the police presence or imposing harsher penalties. The city government chose to invest heavily in the poorest neighborhoods, where violence had once been most severe. Schools, libraries, public spaces, cable car systems, and outdoor escalators were built one after another. The philosophy behind these projects was clear: the opposite of crime is not only punishment, but also opportunity. The cable car system became the most prominent symbol of this transformation. While many countries build cable cars to serve ski resorts, Medellín brought them to poor hillside neighborhoods, allowing residents to travel more quickly from their communities to the city center. A journey that once took hours can now be shortened considerably, helping workers access jobs, schools, and essential services. The project also sent a powerful message that communities once forgotten are also part of the city. Comuna 13 is the clearest example of this transformation. An area once blockaded by armed groups and consumed by fear has now become one of the most photographed places in Medellín. Graffiti-covered walls tell stories of a painful past, hopes for peace, and the creative spirit of local residents. Outdoor escalators carry visitors up slopes that were once extremely difficult to access, while street artists, dancers, and tour guides turn memories of violence into stories of resilience. Medellín is still not a perfect city, but its journey shows that a city once abandoned by the world can still be reborn. Rather than erasing its past, Medellín chose to turn that past into motivation to create opportunities, connect communities, and build a different future. If you hope to visit Colombia someday, hit the like button to mark this journey. Number 9. The women of Colombia. Colombian women have long been one of the most frequently mentioned images when the world talks about this South American country. Their beauty is often described as the result of the blending of 3 major heritages: Indigenous American, African, and European. Over many generations, this mixture has created a diverse community of women with different skin tones, facial features, body types, and styles. However, it would be too simplistic to judge Colombian women solely by their appearance, because behind the vibrant images lies a complex story of culture, social pressure, education, and family roles. Colombia is considered a powerhouse in international beauty pageants. The country has won the Miss Universe crown twice, in 1958 and 2014, and its representatives frequently advance far in many major competitions. Beauty pageants do not only appear on television, but have also become part of cultural life in many communities. From a young age, many girls are taught how to walk on stage, apply makeup, maintain their figure, and show confidence in public. As a result, beauty in Colombia is sometimes not only a natural trait, but also the outcome of years of training. Cali is one of the cities that best embodies this spirit. Known as the salsa capital of the world, Cali has hundreds of dance schools and a community deeply connected to music. Here, salsa is not simply a form of entertainment, but also a discipline, a source of pride, and part of the city's identity. Many women learn to dance from an early age, developing body control, grace, and a confident presence. This environment has also helped Cali train many contestants for national beauty pageants. However, the emphasis placed on appearance also creates significant pressure. Colombia has a highly developed cosmetic surgery and medical tourism industry, attracting many international visitors seeking beauty procedures. This reflects strong market demand, but it also reveals the strict beauty standards women may face. When beauty becomes an industry, women can easily feel that their value depends on how others perceive their bodies and appearance. If you enjoy journeys of discovery like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Appearance is only a very small part of the story of Colombian women. Many are well-educated, speak multiple languages, pursue careers, and play central roles in multi-generational families. They may work while raising children, supporting their parents, and maintaining close bonds among family members. Their strength is not only displayed on stage, but is also present in the everyday responsibilities that rarely appear in promotional images. In dating culture, punctuality, sincerity, and courtesy are often highly valued. A small gesture such as opening a car door, listening attentively, or showing respect can make a better impression than displaying wealth and status. Therefore, to understand Colombian women, people need to look beyond their famous beauty. Behind their attractive appearance are confidence, discipline, knowledge, responsibility, and the ability to maintain relationships within both family and society. Number 8. Life on the street. The streets of Colombia never truly stand still. In Medellín or Cali, a single stop at an intersection is enough for visitors to see an entire stage of daily life unfold before their eyes. During the few dozen seconds at a red light, a group of dancers may step into the roadway, spin to the music, and quickly collect small amounts of money from people sitting in their cars. At another corner, a juggler tosses balls into the air. A vendor pushes a cart of roses through traffic, while a windshield cleaner suddenly approaches and begins wiping the glass before the driver has time to refuse. When the traffic light turns green, everyone quickly leaves the road, making way for the flow of vehicles to continue. These intersections are not only places where roads meet, but also resemble miniature economies. Every brief stop becomes an opportunity to earn a living. Performers, vendors, and service providers use every second to reach potential customers. This rhythm of life creates a sense of chaos but also vitality, where art, labor, and the need to survive all appear in the same space. For local residents, these scenes have become a familiar part of urban life, but for visitors, they reveal the remarkable adaptability of people trying to survive in a society still marked by significant inequality. Looking up at the buildings along the road, other small details continue to make Colombia distinctive. On the balconies of some apartments, residents keep parrots or place feeders to attract hummingbirds. Even in the middle of crowded cities, nature remains present through birdsong, potted plants, and small green spaces. Down on the sidewalk, a dog walker may have to lean their entire body to control the leashes of 10 dogs at once. The scene resembles a sled dog team moving through a tropical city, both humorous and reflective of the lively, unpredictable nature of Colombia's streets. However, behind the colors, music, and interesting scenes of daily life is a distinctive social system that many visitors may not easily notice. Colombia classifies residential areas using a system called estrato, ranging from level 1 to level 6, based on the economic conditions of each area. This number is printed directly on each household's utility bills. People living in higher estrato areas pay more for the same amount of electricity or water, while households in poorer areas receive support through lower rates. In essence, wealthy residents contribute part of the cost to subsidize lower-income communities. This is how Colombia turns inequality into something that can be seen and addressed through policy. However, the system also creates a complicated feeling. A person's address not only shows where they live, but also partly reveals their economic and social position. Each monthly bill becomes a reminder of the rung on which a family stands. For some people, this may create a feeling of being labeled or quietly damage their self-esteem. But for poor families, that assistance is sometimes the very reason they can still maintain electricity, clean water, and a basic standard of living. The streets of Colombia are therefore not only filled with music, dance, and color, they are also places where beauty, creativity, labor, and inequality coexist in every moment. To understand this country, people cannot simply watch what is being performed in the middle of an intersection. They must also pay attention to the small numbers printed on the bills inside each home. Number 7. Customs and taboos. To understand life in Colombia, visitors need to observe not only the streets and festivals, but also the small rules that shape family life and everyday communication. Here, multiple generations often live under the same roof. Grandparents are not only respected elders, but also directly care for their grandchildren, pass down experience, and help maintain close bonds among family members. As a result, the family is often considered the center of social life, where each person has a responsibility to support and protect one another. This spirit is also reflected in Colombian hospitality. The phrase "Mi casa es su casa," meaning "my home is your home," is not merely a polite greeting but almost a principle of social behavior. When guests enter a home, they are often offered food and drinks, invited into conversation, and treated like family. However, this friendliness comes with certain clear boundaries. Arguing loudly, using an accusatory tone, or swearing in public may be seen as genuine aggression. Therefore, when making a complaint or resolving a conflict, lowering your voice and remaining calm is often more effective. Small gestures also carry important meaning. Keeping both hands in your pockets while speaking to someone may give the impression of indifference or disrespect. In contrast, greetings are often quite warm, with a hug or a light kiss on the cheek between people who know each other. Physical contact is seen as a way of expressing affection and friendliness rather than invading personal space. In addition to rules of etiquette, Colombia also has many good luck traditions, especially on New Year's Eve. Some people eat 12 grapes at midnight, with each grape representing one wish for each of the 12 months ahead. Others wear yellow underwear to attract wealth, carry an empty suitcase around the neighborhood in hopes of traveling, or hold lentils to wish for abundance throughout the new year. Many superstitions are also passed down in everyday life. Placing a handbag on the floor is believed to cause money to slip away. Sitting at the corner of a table may mean having difficulty getting married. Yellow flowers are sometimes associated with funerals, so giving them should be considered carefully. Colombians do not necessarily believe these ideas completely, but following them is still a way to show that a person understands, respects, and fits into the community. Number 6. A plate called Colombia. Colombian cuisine clearly reflects the rich geography, history, and family life of this South American country. A meal here is rarely meant only to satisfy hunger. It is also a way for people to express hospitality, affection, and pride in their homeland. Portions are often large, ingredients are diverse, and hosts always want to make sure their guests leave the table feeling full. The dish that best represents this spirit is bandeja paisa, a specialty originating from the Antioquia region. A single plate contains rice, beans, ground beef, chorizo sausage, fried pork, a fried egg, fried ripe plantains, avocado, and an arepa. It is no longer like an ordinary meal, but almost a complete list of the energy-rich foods of the mountainous agricultural region. The dish once gave workers enough strength to work for many hours, and today it has become a famous culinary symbol of Colombia. Arepas are found almost everywhere across the country. This simple corn cake has about 75 regional variations. Some are made thick, others thin, while some include cheese, eggs, or meat. Each region has its own preparation method and often believes its version is the most authentic. Similar diversity can also be found in potatoes. Colombia has more than 800 different potato varieties, showing how a familiar ingredient can be transformed into countless flavors and textures. In Bogotá, ajiaco is a signature dish. It is a thick soup made with chicken, 3 types of potatoes, and guascas herbs. The potatoes are added at different times so that some dissolve into the broth and thicken it, while the rest retain their shape. In the Tolima region, lechona stands out for its larger scale. A whole pig is stuffed with rice and slowly roasted for several hours, creating a dish commonly served at festivals, weddings, and large gatherings. The most important common feature of Colombian cuisine lies not only in its ingredients, but also in its generosity. A meal is considered complete when there is always more food on the table than necessary, and the guest no longer feels that anything is missing. Number 5. The cost of living shock. The cost of living in Colombia often surprises many tourists and foreigners because it is significantly lower than in many cities in North America or Europe. In 2025, an inexpensive lunch consisting of soup, a main course, and a drink cost only about $2, $5. These prices are why Colombia is sometimes called the Thailand of South America. Housing prices also vary, depending on the city and neighborhood. A typical one-bedroom apartment can be rented for about $380, $770 per month. However, in El Poblado, an area of Medellín with a large concentration of foreigners, rent can rise to about $700, $1,800 per month. However, this sense of affordability mainly applies to people who receive salaries, pensions, or income in strong foreign currencies. According to the data, Colombia's minimum wage in 2026 is only about $475 per month and rises to nearly $540 when the transportation allowance is included. This means that a foreigner's $1,500 budget is equivalent to nearly 3 months of full-time work for a local minimum wage worker. Therefore, Colombia's low cost of living is not simply a bargain, it also reflects major differences in income and purchasing power. This contrast helps people understand that whether life is cheap or expensive always depends on each person's economic position. Number 4. The second most biodiverse country on Earth. Leaving the crowded cities behind, Colombia appears as a vast natural world compressed within the borders of a single country. It is considered the second most biodiverse country in the world, behind only Brazil, despite being much smaller in size. More than 63,000 species have been recorded here, including birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and countless species of plants, flowers, and insects. One of Colombia's most remarkable achievements is its number of bird species. The country ranks first in the world with about 1,900 species, more than the total number of bird species found in Europe and North America combined. In a single forest, visitors may encounter hummingbirds with shimmering feathers, colorful parrots, eagles, toucans, and many species living at different levels of the canopy. A major reason for this biological treasure lies in Colombia's distinctive terrain. As the Andes pass through the country, the mountain range divides into 3 major branches, creating a series of separated valleys, plateaus, and mountain regions. Each area has different elevations, rainfall levels, and temperatures, forming many almost isolated climate zones. During a relatively short journey, visitors can travel from areas near the snow line down through cloud forests, high mountain grasslands, tropical valleys, and then continue into rainforests. Number 3. Coffee, emeralds, and a wealth you can't see. Hidden behind Colombia's green mountain ranges are 2 sources of wealth that have made the country famous around the world: coffee and emeralds. One is cultivated on mountainsides under tropical sunlight and rain, while the other lies deep underground and emerges only after hours of hard labor in dark tunnels. Although different in form and value, both tell the same story of abundant nature, patience, and the hard work of the Colombian people. In the departments of Caldas, Risaralda, and Quindío, coffee-covered hills stretch in layers across the slopes of the Andes, forming an area known as the Coffee Cultural Landscape of Colombia. UNESCO recognized the region as a World Heritage Site in 2011. It is not only a coffee-growing region, but also a cultural landscape shaped over many generations. Colombia is known as the world's 3rd largest coffee producer, after Brazil and Vietnam. An important difference is that the country is famous for Arabica coffee, whose beans generally have a mild, smooth, aromatic flavor and are less bitter than many other coffee varieties. If coffee is the treasure found on the hillsides, emeralds are the wealth hidden deep within the mountains. Colombia is one of the world's most important sources of emeralds. The Muzo mine in the department of Boyacá is especially famous for stones with a deep green color, high clarity, and unmistakable beauty. This color is so distinctive that jewelry experts often use the term Colombian green to describe high-quality emeralds. Like coffee, emeralds are not easily taken from Colombia's mountains. One must be carefully cultivated, harvested, and processed by hand, while the other must be mined from deep underground, searched for, and separated from the rock. Number 2. Magic, music, and the soul Colombia exports. Colombia's wealth is not found only in its emerald mines, coffee-covered hills, or diverse ecosystems. What this country may export most powerfully to the world is an emotion, a blend of magic, music, sorrow, and joy. In Colombian culture, strange things are not necessarily separate from everyday life. Ghosts, omens, spirits, and stories that seem impossible can still be told in the same calm tone people use when talking about the weather. This way of seeing the world gave rise to one of the most influential literary movements of the 20th century. Music carries a similar cultural fusion. Cumbia and vallenato emerged along the Caribbean coast from the meeting of indigenous, African, and European cultures. Drum rhythms, accordion melodies, and storytelling through song became the voice of the community. Garcia Marquez once described 100 Years of Solitude as a vallenato hundreds of pages long, showing that there is almost no clear boundary between Colombian literature and music. That spirit is also clearly present in its festivals. The UNESCO-recognized Carnival of Barranquilla is one of the largest street festivals in the world. For 4 days, the entire city nearly puts work aside to immerse itself in music, costumes, and dance. Colombia has endured decades of violence, inequality, and loss, yet instead of allowing suffering to completely overwhelm daily life, its people transform it into stories, songs, dances, and festivals. Perhaps that is the spirit Colombia gives to the world, the ability to turn sorrow into something that can be written, sung, and danced to together. Number 1. Places that shouldn't exist. Colombia has places so unusual that, upon seeing them for the first time, people may think they exist only in movies or on heavily edited postcards. From an island packed with houses in the Caribbean Sea to a massive rock rising straight out of the ground, each place shows that the country's landscape and history can stretch far beyond ordinary imagination. Santa Cruz del Islote is one of the most remarkable examples. The island is only about the size of a few soccer fields, but is home to around 1,200 people, leading it to be described as the most densely populated island in the world. The houses stand close together, the streets are extremely narrow, and nearly every available space has been used. The island has no hospital, police force, or stable source of fresh water. Water for daily use must be transported by boat from the mainland or nearby islands. Despite the limited space, local residents do not necessarily view it as suffocating. When almost everyone knows one another, close proximity creates a sense of community rather than overcrowding. Children learn to swim at an early age, while the sea serves as a road, a playground, and a source of livelihood for the residents. Near Medellín stands a completely different wonder. El Peñol is a massive rock formation about 720 feet high, rising almost alone above the low hills. A winding staircase with nearly 700 steps was built along a crack in the rock, taking visitors all the way to the top. After the long and fairly exhausting climb, the reward is a view of a blue lake, divided into countless narrow branches, surrounding islands and peninsulas. Farther away lies the town of Guatapé, with its colorful houses making the entire landscape look like a miniature model.